Jai Shri Guru, Jnana Dadina Pandhu, Swanandrita Koronayaka Sindhu, Vrindavanasina Hidavadara, Prasidaratha Pranavachara. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vicharane, Nirvisesha Sunyavati Pastajade Zitarane. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. Vancha Kalpa Darubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhevyacha, Patidanan Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. I'm very humbled that all of you have come together today for this event, and I'm extraordinarily thankful, and I'm very, very humbled that my god brothers, Srila Swami, Indradunda Maharaj, and Bhaktivedanta Swami have come here to be with me today. It's a wonderful thing that started last year with Indradunda Maharaj and Bhaktivedanta Swami coming, and this year Srila Maharaj has come as well. Thank you all very, very much. They all said such kind and very gracious words regarding myself. Srila Maharaj was mentioning how we share a taste for the holy name, and we share a taste for service to Radhe Shyam in this world, and hopefully in the next world. Well, we all know that Srila Maharaj is a great organizer, and he's organized such a great, fantastic community in Hungary. And he's already got my service organized in the spiritual world also. He's got me in the kitchen already, cooking. And I hope that he'll be the one who's there who will be taking the plate to Sri Radha to give to Sri Krishna. Maharaj and I have known one another for 44, 45 years now. From the time he was initiated, we met, and for his initiation ceremony, I cooked the feast. So I hope that our journey continues, not just for another 45 years, but eternally. And that till the last breath of our life leaves this body, that I'm blessed by having your association, and that I'm blessed that we can chant for Radhe Shyam, and that Prabhupada will bestow his mercy upon us both, that we can go to Golokadam and serve Radhe Shyam there. And Indradunda Maharaj, thank you so much for coming here. All of us are like brothers, and they're my big brothers. They're both of them are elder to me by a wee bit. Indradunda Swami and I have always really had sort of like a relationship of big brother and younger brother. And if any of you ever had a big brother and you were the younger brother, sometimes you know what it's like. You know, we've been together over the years, traveling throughout the world, preaching throughout the world, having kirtan throughout the world. Sometimes we've gotten on our nerves and we've squabbled like brothers, but still, because the love is there. After, I guess we met in 79, right? When you took sannyas. You know, for 40 years now, you know, he's been my trusted friend, and he's been my confidant, and he's been like another strong shoulder and a strong heart for me to lean on when I've faced my tests on the path of Krishna consciousness. So Maharaj, I love you too. I know sometimes you're talking about me being cultured, and I don't see myself as being very cultured. I see myself as being more of a hooligan. Huh? Okay. Yeah, you said I'm cultured, and I don't see myself very cultured. But one thing I know for sure is that I love you. And my defects, my faults, I hope you continue to tolerate them. And just keep showering me with your love. You know, many years ago, gosh, it was back in 1986, Indraduna Maharaj, Shiva Maharaj, and I were together, and there was a crisis going on, big crisis for all of us. And it seemed like the news was going from bad to worse, and from bad to worse, and from bad to worse. And finally the news got about as bad as it could possibly get. And then we looked at one another and we said, what do we do in a situation like this? And our joint conclusion was, well, we just hold hands and we stay together throughout the course of this life. And we keep helping one another and we keep nourishing one another until that blessed day comes when some prema bhakti actually arises within the heart. So it's been a long time, so thank you both that you've been here and that you've always been a solid support for myself. And Gurukula Maharaj, thank you very much. When he began to speak, from the first word that he said, I started smiling because I knew that spiritual tattva was going to come out. And it was something going to be based on this part of the Bhagavatam, that part of the Bhagavatam, going to another part of the Bhagavatam, and then coming to some conclusion. Maharaj and I have known one another since, I guess we met for the first time in 76. No, in 77. We met in, I can really say the first time I met that I consciously can remember meeting Maharaj was the day that Srila Prabhupada passed away. And I had finished cooking the lunch for the devotees, and I was going over to the ladies' ashram because the ladies had to come and roll the chapatis for the lunch. And when I went by Prabhupada's room, I could see that something different was going on. And I went inside and I saw that something special was going on, and then I ducked into the kitchen, into Prabhupada's kitchen. Maharaj was there. And he was cooking for Prabhupada's entourage. And we connected at that time. And we've been connected for the past 43 years now. Maharaj has always been a good friend. He's always been a person who I can go to and he can explain things in such beautiful philosophical ways and then just bring it right back down to earth, and we can have a good laugh together and a good joke together and good prasadam together. Thank you very much for friendship for so many years. Thank you all. I'd like to say that I'm really happy that we did this today by having so much kirtan. And that the kirtan was so lively and that we were all here in the kirtan together. Many times when we go for festivals in New Rajadam, at Shivaram Swami's, the community that he's developed in Hungary, we'll have kirtan for 6 or 7 hours non-stop, dancing kirtan.
Just in the morning.
And that's just in the morning. It's like I think it was his birthday the day before his birthday. We started a kirtan at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it ended at 2 in the afternoon for prasadam, and that was dancing. And then after having nice prasadam, came back in the evening and we chanted till about midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. And generally we always feel that festivals should be imbued with chanting the Lord's name and dancing. You know, we've learned from Srila Prabhupada, we've learned from our acharyas that this is the true movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It says Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro. That Lord Chaitanya's devotees, the Goswamis, they're always chanting and they were always dancing. And because of these simple activities of chanting and dancing, they were always swimming in the ocean of love for Krishna. Now we know from, many of you are from basically from India, and you know that there are so many different spiritualists in India, and you know that there are so many yogis, and you know that there are so many masters, and you know that there are so many philosophers and teachers, so forth and so on. And they may be saying many messages, but the essence of all the messages that we should really adhere to, and we should really make it a part of our lives, and we should really work on that in our lives, is this chanting of the holy names. This is our Yuga Dharma, and we should practice this very purely. And then in practicing purely, you know, this chanting and dancing and love of God, we'll become blessed by the Lord. We'll become blessed by the Lord in his form of the holy name, Nam Prabhu. We'll become blessed by all of our acharyas, that blessed love of God will awaken within our hearts. Last night, Srila Prabhupada Swami was speaking so beautifully at the Awakening the Soul program. And there he was talking about how people have so many different aspirations. They may want this, or they may want that, or people may aspire for power, or people may aspire for wealth. But the greatest gift that we can all receive in our lives is love for Krishna. Krishna Prema. That is more than any gift that we may receive through the performance of karma. It's more than any gift that we will ever be blessed with through the deliberation of jnana. It's far beyond any gift that will come to us through the process of mystic yoga. Sri Rupa Goswami has actually spoken in his Namastakam that just the holy name is such a wonderful thing that the Upanishads and all of the Vedas and all of the Vedic knowledge simply worship the light which is glowing from the tips of the toes of the holy name. All the Vedic literatures, they give us this understanding. And it's through this chanting, love will awaken. And that was the point that Maharaj was making last night. The most powerful gift, the greatest gift, is love. The greatest energy is love. Our Srila Swami Maharaj, he's such a great author. And he has written his book about Mother Jasoda and Damodar. And all of you know this because you've grown up with this. Krishna is showing himself as a child, but he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna says that everything material, everything spiritual emanates from me. Krishna says, I am the source of the Devatas. Krishna says, I am the basis of Brahman. He is the omnipotent, all-powerful Lord. But still, he's bound by his mother. And he's not bound by rope, but he's bound by love. By the causeless love of his devotee and his reciprocation with his devotee. So my dear friends, once again, let's just become focused that the goal of our lives is the attainment of that love, and that will come with grace. That will come with blessings. That will come with mercy. If we can give our lives for assisting and spreading the holy names to each and every living being within this world. When Srila Prabhupada came to the West, Srila Prabhupada knew what he was doing. Srila Prabhupada was an extremely result-oriented person. It's something that we often speak about, because when we were young, Prabhupada really sort of like drove us for results, and sometimes we lament that oftentimes we don't find the same situation these days as we did then. Srila Prabhupada was very driven. He was a man who was obsessed with something. He was a result-oriented person, but the result that he wanted was that every living being could awaken their love for Krishna. And he couldn't rest without that. And we see that from the life of Srila Prabhupada. Day and night, day and night, day and night, either counseling the devotees, either preaching the Bhagavatam, either preaching Gita, speaking to so many new people. And then when all of us who were his problems went to sleep at night, then Srila Prabhupada would sit and he'd write his books all night long. Why? Because he wanted everybody to awaken their love for Krishna. Or as our program last night said, awaken the soul and the soul's constitutional nature, that the soul is a lover of Krishna. So please, once again, it's like you've come here and you've been so merciful to give me your blessings, but since I'm the fellow on the seat, then I can ask something from all of you. And my request is rededicate yourself to the holy names. Really try to cultivate the spirit of Krishna consciousness. Make it an everyday affair. Make it a point that every day you're trying to go a step further and a step further and a step further. We have to make our efforts. We know that we're only going to go there by divine grace. We know that for sure. We won't be able to put our toe within the spiritual world unless we receive the causeless, unlimited mercy of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But You got to make your efforts every single day. Don't think that it will just be something automatic. You know, we often give that example of the automatic car. I drive an automatic. But still, if you drive an automatic, you have to put the key in the door and open the door, and then you have to sit down in the seat, then you have to put the key in the ignition, and then you have to at least put it in, R to get out of your driveway, and D to drive. You have to make efforts, you see. Everybody here, please make efforts to awaken your Krishna consciousness. Read Prabhupada's books. Associate with good sadhus like these people. And so many sadhus are sitting here in front of me. So many of the devotees are sitting here. First class, beautiful sadhus. So please make that effort and really attain that goal of life, which is loving Krishna. And then in conclusion, I would just like to say thanks. Thank you very much, and thank you from my heart, of my heart, of my heart, for this wonderful team that organized such a wonderful event last night here in Dubai. I thank you so much. I was asking my Swami friends, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it last night? And I think the lowest that they went was something like 9.8. So thank you all very much. We want to do awakening the soul everywhere. We want everybody to awaken their soul and love Krishna. All right, I've spoken too much. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Shri Ram Swami Maharaj ki. Indraduna Sai Maharaj ki. Bhakti Vidyapurna Swami Maharaj ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.